Drake Maye's subtlety or not so subtlety when I believe when you tell somebody to get your stuff together.
I think it's their job. They know to kind of get their stuff together.
That means you want to say the other word that we're not allowed to say. That's how I would say it on the radio. Starts with an S, ends with a T. Says hi in the middle. That is like he's calling out his receivers.
Is that or is that not leadership? When you basically say like, hey guys, so I have been entrusted to be atop the pecking order. I am now running the team. I need you guys to get in line or get out of the way.
It's leadership, yes. The positive side of this would be leadership. The negative side would be Drake Maye is worried if they're going to get their ish together. And if you don't get... because
you were there last year. They had 13 combined catches, for God's sakes.
What happened to Jalen Polk is plug-and-play ready?
No one told you what game he was plug-and-play ready in.
Yeah, it's like you ever get a wire and you go to plug it into something, and you're like, this doesn't fit this piece of electronics. Like, this looks like a figure eight, and this is a square.
This is micro USB, but I needed USB-C.
That's what that was. Yes. That's exactly what he was plug-and-play ready.
I plug in my computer.
He was an old-school Apple charger in a new-school world.
Right. And not a lot of lightning to his game.
So I see what you did there.
Gave myself one.
New Truck has the fancy connectors, too.
Does it really?
Yeah.
What's up? Now, New Truck is like the love of your life, huh?
It should be. I'm going to be paying for it for a long time, much like the love of my life.
What like college and everything else. You're about to wade into a very potentially expensive part.
Yeah, it's either going to be good or terrible.
When is the foundation for the
pool?
The infinity pool getting poured?
Yeah, next week. I already put the down payment down. I'm just waiting for the bonus we usually get.
Oh, right.
I have the little model that I walk around with. But no, it's great that Drake Maye is going to be a leader and is calling for those guys to get their stuff together.
Correct.
It's not great that he has to call for them to get their stuff together. I don't know where
does he need to? Aren't they both painfully aware? Like, we have not read.
I don't know.
I shared with you last week that Mego did a thing for .com where she spoke to a skills and strength coach or a skills and fitness coach for Javon Baker, who said how disappointing that year was, but that his fundamentals and his basic talent is still absolutely there.
Did his mom and dad say it too?
But it's up to him to figure out a way to make it translate.
The best man at his wedding.
Sure.
Neighbor.
I mean,
his dog.
Dude, he's got the size, he's got the hands, he's got the speed.
Yeah, but so do a lot of people. N'Keal Harry looked like Tarzan.
But you do not...
Couldn't even catch like Jane.
Guess what? N'Keal Harry isn't on the Patriots anymore. Javon Baker is for now.
Yeah, but N'Keal Harry... Who was N'Keal Harry's guy? Footwork king? Or was that Mohamed Sanu?
No, that was Mohamed Sanu.
There's always somebody.
I'm telling you, I don't want to go down this road now, but I'll at least turn the car towards it.
Let's go.
Mohamed Sanu would have been a much better Patriot if he didn't wreck his ankle filling in to return punts against the Eagles because they were so short-staffed.
He was never going to be remember his phrase? He said, I'm both the juice and the squeeze.
Do you remember how good he was in the first game?
Receivers shouldn't say dumb things.
How good was he in the first game?
Don't support us later if you're not going to support us now.
That was like a Jaron Duran thing.
I make people get up in wheelchairs.
That was Javon Baker.
The only person who ever said something
he
like...
had the best hands in the league.
The only person who ever said something like that and
Jesus Christ.
should have. No, the Jesus Christ of deep threats in 2007.
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss on his draft weekend conference call said, I'm about to show you things you've never seen up there. And he did. If you're not Randy Moss, Jelani Tavai thinks you should shut up, know your role, and do something before you talk. Right?
Okay.
Rookies should be seen and not heard, correct?
I would prefer...
We heard both of these two jackals before they had done a damn thing.
One started speaking too early and then wasn't able to back it up, and then the other one started backtracking and excuse-making.
Yeah, and neither contributed.
So they need to... So back to what Drake Maye said to Chris Long on Greenlight, they need to get their blank together.
Correct. But he also... Stiz, I don't know if you can re-rack the beginning of that. I also didn't like how he... kind of tiptoed into it with something to the effect of we bought into?
We bought into two rookie receivers, I think Jalen Polk and Javon Baker.
Okay.
I don't think...
Does that sound super supportive?
No, but can I also just say one thing? I don't think... Drake Maye is not the most, articulate guy.
Well, he's pretty articulate.
No, he knows what he's saying, but like he just doesn't always land.
He bragged about it on our
word.
show.
Saying we bought into, though, does make you feel like
That sounds weird.
I'm stuck with it.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I bought into it.
Bought into. Just say we drafted.
It
That's
means somebody had to sell you on them at some point.
Right.
You think so?
Yes.
And that you didn't get
that
what you
tough?
bought into.
Yes.
There's an implication of failure to deliver, and now I'm kind of stuck with it. I bought into this.
Or was he told,
whatever.
like, he was sold a false bill of goods? Like, these are going to be your guys. Turns out they weren't his guys.
And now we're stuck with them. So now they got to get their ish together because I need one of them to get
And
something
that's what
done
I was
for
saying
me.
to you. They're on the team for now.
He doesn't believe in his wide receivers.
They have a mini camp and a training camp to prove that they belong on this team. One or both could easily be looking for work somewhere else.
Well, who's going to catch passes?
Well, they obviously have free agency and the draft coming up, too.
Everybody tells me nobody's going to get to free agency because there's so much money out there.
Do you expect a lot of competition to be brought into the wide receiver room via free agency and the draft?
Yeah. But it doesn't mean it's good. You brought in KJ Osborne last year, and people tried to sell me on, he's much better than a third receiver. He just needs an opportunity.
Those were Minnesota
Guy
people
stunk.
selling us on that.
Guy stunk.
Where'd he end up, by the way?
Not here.
Yep.
Not good.
Thank goodness.
So, yeah, you could bring in another Javon Baker in the 4th round and a KJ Osborne as a 1-year signing. Did that increase the competition? Just because you throw numbers at a problem doesn't mean
Someone's
you throw
going
talent
to
at
have
it.
to earn the job.
That
So
doesn't
who
mean
the
you're
hell is
good.
going to be your number one wide receiver?
That's what Drake Maye's saying here. I think he has no faith in what's around him right now. He keeps saying very positive things, as he should, about Hunter Henry, and by extension, what's his name?
Kayshon
The
Boutte
other
or
old-
Austin Hooper?
Austin Hooper.
Hooper.
Hopefully he'll be brought back. Other than that, I don't think he has a smidgen of faith. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think he's got a smidgen of faith in Kayshon Boutte. I do think he has some there. And I think he might be intrigued by what a healthy Kendrick Bourne could be. But the two guys he's supposed to be building with, you threw 2 draft picks, 2nd and 4th, at a problem last year. And I think it's still a problem. And I think your quarterback acknowledged that on the Green Light podcast with Chris Long.
So how much? So let's ask aloud. No one's going to
Let's ask silently.
All right. Let's just think about it for a second. This is
See
great
if the
for
listeners
radio.
get it.
You guys on board?
These
Cool.
are not the droids you're looking for.
So this is not going to be something Mike Vrabel or Elliott Wolf will probably speak to when they both have their respective combine meet and greets tomorrow and Wednesday. How much input do you think Drake Maye is going to have or be given in terms of receivers via free agency and the draft? Like who he likes, who looks like his guy? 0?
0.0.
Tough-ish.
I mean, do
You play with who we get
we
you, and that's
really
what you
need
get.
his mind?
Well, I mean,
No
here he is
offense,
speaking
Drake.
out like
We
do you
got
think
Josh McDaniels.
Do you think
we
the
got Mike
Patriots were
Vrabel.
happy about this podcast?
I don't think they cared. I think we are looking deeper than they would have. And honestly, I think we're the only ones. I haven't heard a lot of people really break down this comment that I found a bit alarming's too strong a word. Interesting. Let's just say interesting. I think there are some interesting words chosen here. And I don't give him the out that you do. I think he's a smart guy, and he says things intentionally. Like all along when he keeps saying Mike Vrabel has coached somewhere else, I think that'll be good for us. I think he's saying that intentionally. He dealt with
I
the
think he's
idiocy
a little
of
verbally
last
clumsy,
year.
Tom. at
I
times.
don't.
Andy was also looking into the Vrabel welcome letter. What was that, a few weeks ago? Where Vrabel had some particular wording that Andy...
When he was looking for
his
loyalty
radar went up.
and whatever among his coaches, that's intentional. When you say these things and you do
Sure.
this as much as... Remember when Drake Maye... Stiz, you may not remember, but you, Dan, whoever... Remember when Drake Maye kind of bragged about his ability to address the media? I've been doing it a long time. Even in high school, I had to do it. It goes with the job. He kind of... I fluffed him up and he agreed with the assessment, essentially.
Yeah. It was just like I'm the quarterback, I'm the leader.
Right.
I'm supposed to be good at these things.
Right.
I've been doing it a while. Kind of
Correct.
thing. He said it fast and it was hard to understand per usual.
Yes, there was a little bit of
This is what I'm saying.
So then when you say we bought into, they need to get their stuff together.
He said that intentionally. I don't think that's an accident. He's calling out his young receivers, and I also think he's calling out the team in a way. Oh, we bought into him. I'm the jackal out there stuck with them in the middle of the field, having to throw to these guys who don't know where to line up, who don't know how to get open.
Well, if he's going to talk like that, then I'm sure receivers, coaches, offensive coordinators, or hard-ass vibed head coaches are probably going to have a talking to with him. Like, hey, guess what? That's cool and all. We agree with you, but also maybe shut your pie hole.
STFU?
Yeah, shut your pie hole. We don't need you getting out there in the media and saying that to former Patriots on their podcast.
Or is he doing it just subtly enough and just strongly enough to balance it out, to say something without saying too much.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't go viral. In this day and age, isn't that the sort of the barometer? Mm-hmm. It didn't go viral.
It didn't make Sports Center. They didn't lead on NFL Network.
I didn't see anybody write about it. Was there a single blog? And we got bloggers out the wazoo around here.
Out the wazoo, straight out.
Anybody blog and say?
No, because he used
Drake Maye calls out fellow second-year players.
And the other hand, a criticism.
Perfect.
Kill him with kindness.
Perfect. He balanced it out.